You know, we'll talk politics now. As you know, politics can only be without bitterness if the interest of politicians is served. The leadership of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, what you know as IPAC, IPAC, expressed reservations over the politics of bitterness by some political parties in our country. It has also demanded a drastic review of the exorbitant cost of expression of interest and nomination forms by political parties. Chairman of IPAC, Yusuf Dantalle, who spoke at the second regular quarterly consultative meeting of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, with political parties, demanded that parties adhere strictly to their constitutions in conducting congresses, primaries, and conventions. Easier said than done. Jamil.
Yeah, the IPAC chairman, I mean, that's a very good call he made on INEC. But INEC would rather say that it's the internal affairs of the different parties to, well, INEC can regulate. You know, you have expression of interest form, you also have nomination form.
Yeah.
So in most cases now, if you want to be a governor, the expression of interest form could be as high as 10 million, while the nomination form itself could be between 25 and 50 million, depending on the political party. And I believe that one, will practically shut out some people. And the same goes even up to councillorship level for local governments. I recall that in, I think the last election in Oyo State, I think councillors paid between 20 and 30,000 for, I think 10,000 for expression of interest and 20,000 for the nomination form itself. So that's 30,000. And in a rural community, I mean, that's councillor. We're not even talking of, I think for chairmanship candidates in Oyo State, I think it's 500,000. While they graduated like that, for House of Assembly, I think it's 2 million for APC. Then House of Reps is 6 million, while Reps is 10 million. So
Reps or Senate?
Sorry, House of Reps 6 million per aspirant, and Senate 10 million. So these amounts are a bit on the high side. I think that is what IPAC is saying. But I think ultimately what we need to do is to allow, independent candidacy where people who believe they are popular can actually come out as an independent candidate.
Well, I'm waiting to see our first independent. One phrase that comes to mind here is politics without bitterness. In the Second Republic, this was championed by late Alhaji Waziri Ibrahim. And IPAC is bringing that here, you know. You are wondering if politics can be played without bitterness.
Well, it depends. But I know that in this particular era, I've seen a couple of politicians who have decided to embrace this phrase, you know.
Politics without
bitterness, yes. In that they win the election and then the next thing they just say, okay, fine, I want to have an all-inclusive government, you know. Whether you are from party A, party B, come, let's work together to develop either my state. Like our state, for instance, Akwa Ibom, you know. The governor has opened his doors and says, don't look at me as a governor of PDP. Yes, that is a platform for me to become a governor. But I want to be a governor for everybody.
That is a father figure.
So, yeah, exactly. And even our president, too, has also shown that kind of politics without bitterness. You know, having a Yusuf Dantalle in his cabinet, for instance, because he's looking at something that is more than that. We are looking at the development. And for IPAC to have come to say, okay, let's begin to look at it from this way. And that is why they first said something about the nomination forms. because it starts from that. When once you begin to say nomination form is expression of interest is 30 million, is
You are
50 million.
chucking a number of people
Exactly.
out.
You are just moving people out from that particular circle. Especially people who can deliver, who know that, okay, they have a lot to, to give back, And so when you begin to push people back, some people will even, where the bitterness comes is when some people go and borrow money and then they buy this form. At the end of the day, they feel cheated when they lose.
Yeah.
That is where bitterness begins to come, But when we have a situation where everybody sees going to power as service and not to go there and enrich themselves, there won't be bitterness, okay? You just know that, okay, I'm going there just for me to serve the people. So it's very, very difficult.
It begs the question of why is it called politics business of interest?
Yeah, well, yes, we know it's interest-driven. We know it's interest-driven. But as it stands, inside the interest...
The interest must be tempered.
Yes. Inside that interest, there have to be a little bit of humanity in it. Okay? And that is where the without bitterness comes in by Alhaji Waziri, So I think what IPAC is now saying makes a lot of sense. Let's begin to look at how we can help ourselves and develop Nigeria. Nigeria is a great country. Is apart from whatever we say, whether it's a giant of Africa, we are a great nation. If you go out of this country and you see the great things that we are doing, if you call yourself a Nigerian, you'll be proud, So if IPAC is now saying, let's begin to look at we doing things and not seeing ourselves as enemy. I'm a citizen. I think is very, very worthwhile.
Jamiu, and also the talk about political parties living by its constitution comes in.
See, politics, the way it's played in Nigeria today, has to do with the individuals, the dramatis personae who are playing the politics. It's not about the constitution of the party, because you see somebody jump from APC to PDP, PDP back to PDP. They do the same thing. He mentioned, of course, I was in Akwa Ibom for the Guild of Editors conference. And we moved around the states. We saw the way people were talking about Pastor Umueno, the governor. And he's doing wonderfully well. Now he's been able to reunite the two former governors. Akpabio never visited government house since he left almost 10 years ago until this Umueno. And to think that it was Akpabio, the Senate president, that installed the guy who left, but that one chased Akpabio out of town, out of the party. So to say that politics should be played without bitterness is not in the literature of Nigerian politicians. We have a father earlier in Benue who has driven almost everybody out of the party. Of town. We have a situation where in Rivers State, the governor now, as Accountant General, was declared wanted by the EFCC. It was Wike that was shielding him. Today, he's giving pepper to Wike or whoever is close to Wike.
I hear he wants to probe him.
No, he said it openly. And he said the first task before the new Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice is to set up a panel to probe governance. Is he going to probe himself? Or is he not going to probe the past 8 years? So, and he said the Wike left the state in debt. That is Fubara and Wike. But a different scenario is playing out in Kogi, where Ododo is really giving Ododo and the flower to Yaya Bello. He went to rescue him, like they did to Cinderella in that Hollywood tale.
Yeah.
So, different songs for different folks. So politics depends on the individual. And I keep telling politicians that whether you buy a form or for an aspirant or a candidate, or you install a candidate, does not mean the candidate will be loyal to you.
Yeah.
It depends on and we are seeing it playing out on a daily basis. So the only exception is Lagos, where Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who all of them want to be like, has been able to have his hold on power from one state of Lagos. I mean, it's able to become the president of 37 states, 36 states and Abuja.
Yeah.
So how many people can play the kind of, can you see the number of people that have abused Asiwaju, that have caused him, they have done a lot of things to him, but today he has some of them in his cabinet.
We are joined by Abuja, and Ibi, I understand, wants to weigh in here. Ibi, welcome. How do you do? Can you hear me?
Hi.
Okay, then, let's go.
I can hear you. Good evening.
Yeah.
Please, I want to quickly correct one impression. Please, can you help us to tell Mr. Jami to remove river politics from subject matter? It does not have anything to do with, if you are playing politics, don't play politics with river issue. Please, a point of correction. Thank you.
Yeah, we take corrections here. Yeah.
What did he say? I didn't even hear him.
He said you should remove rivers matter inside what you are saying.
Yeah. Maybe to him, rivers does not matter here.
Okay, he said we should remove rivers. Fine.
Yes. So you can go with other governors, but not rivers.
You don't remove them.
I've removed it.
I hope he has managed to remember that Akwa Ibom is next to rivers.
But Akwa Ibom, there's peace in Akwa Ibom. So don't go
and
there.
it's also remember that rivers remember that they used to be part and parcel of Bayelsa. That, I mean, there was a meeting where they called Bayelsa to come and assist them recently. Well, that is just by the way.
Yeah.
But there's no way we can leave rivers out of the politics of Nigeria. Rivers
from
is
the equation.
Rivers is a state of critical importance to the Nigerian state. Just like CBN will say, some banks are of critical importance. They can't allow them to go down, like the way the CBN intervened in First Bank. So some banks are like some states in Nigeria. So,
okay.
I mean, our brother should understand that.
Let's quickly take this home. Asokwo. IPAC has floated something in the air. Political parties should take a second hard look at forms, how you decide to sell forms, nomination, expression of intention and of interest and all that. You know, I think I think it's something that
what they
call.
Yes, most political parties will have to look at. I know that politicking in Nigeria is very expensive. It's not something that you just
if they tell you that politics is a zero-sum game, you must understand what it means.
It's not a tea party. You can't just come out and say I want to be governor. No, because one, you have political party, your offices. You need to equip and fund your party offices. On election day, your agents must give them good money. If not, another political party will have to entice them with money.
Pick up the pieces.
So there are so many. So all these monies that they get from the forms, that is what they use, apart from the ones that the politicians will get either from their own businesses or not. Okay. But that is what they usually say. Because I know how much APC made just for their form alone. Both the interest and the nomination form. It was 100 million for presidential.
Yeah.
I hope you are not going to court.
I'm not going to court, but it was 100 million. And do you know how many people got the expression? And even the party said, they didn't even say anybody, don't come. They were collecting and collecting and collecting the money.
People are buying forms on behalf of some people.
On behalf of some people, you see different groups coming.
Yeah.
So I think INEC will just have to set the rules.
So when
at
former
some point,
Governor Wike said he bought forms for so many people, you can imagine how much he dropped.
All the House of Assembly members,
House of Assembly, and the governor,
House of Representatives too.
So, and somebody said we should not talk about that. But we are wondering. I mean, like I said, I put a caveat. I said that you install somebody as governor does not mean that person will be loyal to you. I put that caveat.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it brings to the fore now the issue of Godfatherism. It should not become substitutes for democracy.
No.
You are a godfather. Because you put me there, you must also second guess what I should do. Tell me what I should do.
The word has been tampered down a bit. They don't even use Godfather anymore.
What do you people use now?
Now they use loyalty.
Oh, come on.
May your loyalty not be tested.
Exactly. They use loyalty now. So when I put you there, you should be loyal to me. So it's not Godfatherism anymore.
Asukwa, that loyalty is earned.
See,
in politics, they don't see it that way. You understand?
For some of us that have played the game, see, there are three legs to politics. We have the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. So you must have control of two.
Sorry, let's take a final call for Abuja on this subject matter. Mohammed is here. Mohammed, I greet you. Welcome.
Good evening, my honorable journalist.
I greet you, sir. Welcome.
Hold on. I love watching your program.
Thank you.
Yes, can I go back to the Nigerian Labour Congress versus the federal government?
Mohammed, if we can do that in 30 seconds.
Yes, I can do that. I think the federal government is not being said to the Labour Party, Nigerian Labour Congress, but 8,000 naira is too small.
So, Mohammed, how much?
Yeah, how much do you think is okay?
It's okay.
Yeah, I don't have, it's a negotiation, but I think the federal government set up a committee of over 500 million naira committee. It should be better. It's too small.
Mohammed, thank you. 30 seconds are up. Yeah.